Blessings and welcome to today's Law Enforcement Daily Devotional. Today we're in John chapter 1 verses 1 through 18. Mark chapter 1 verse 1. Luke chapter 1 verse 1 through 4, then 3 verse 23 through 38, and then Matthew 1 1 through 17. Our New Testament read is here. So, I don't know about you, but I loved our time in the Old Testament. A lot of good stories, a lot of good lessons. There are so many law enforcement takeaways that are applicable in the Old Testament that you just can't dismiss a good Old Testament read. So anyway, I'm happy to be in the New Testament. I'm going to miss the Old Testament, but we're going to move forward. And today in John chapter 1, it talks about Jesus being the creative force of Genesis 1, back to the Old Testament, and not to miss Christ in the New Testament. But we can't miss him in the Old Testament. It's really interesting because in the beginning of John 1:1, it talks about Jesus being the Word with a capital W. It talks about him being the light with a capital L. So we get a lot of characteristics of Christ before John actually calls him Jesus Christ. And it's a really neat read. Chapter 1 verse 17, for the law was given through Moses. Grace and truth were realized through Jesus Christ. This is such an important verse. We can't miss it. And there's a law enforcement takeaway, but I think this is just as important. Old Testament times, before Jesus came along and before the Holy Spirit indwelt us, the Jews were given the law of Moses. It's a different path than today. Today, grace and truth are realized through Jesus Christ. See, there's two paths. There's a path where they're given it, and then there's a path where we realize it. Different delivery systems, if you will. The law was given. You can take it or leave it. It's just like today's society. We have law, and you can obey it or you can break it. I mean, that's the law. But grace and truth are realized through a person's individual choice, a change of heart, a change of our mind, a change of our spirit, where we realize the light goes off and we get it. When you're giving something, a lot of times something that is just given to you, we think of externally, and a lot of times when you do realize something, that's kind of internal. It is internal. Now the gift of Jesus Christ is a free gift given to all. So that's not always a physical gift, right? It's never a physical gift, but gifts are sometimes physical. The realization, the revelation, that's spiritual and internal. But anyway, if you have time, camp out on 1:17 in John and just mull it over, think it over, make yourself some notes, talk through that. Man, that is the best way to study the Bible, is to get into the Word and pick it apart, look at it from different angles, and see what God reveals to you. That's the fun of this. Mark chapter 1 verse 1. Just one verse out of Mark. But if I had to come up with a title for today's daily read, it would have been Mark 1:1. It says, in the beginning of the good news about Jesus the Messiah, the Son of God. That sums up what today's lesson is about. It's the good news of Jesus. And Jesus is the promised Messiah. He is the Son of God. Luke chapter 1, verse 1 through 4. And here's kind of my law enforcement takeaway from today. I love the way this is written, the way we're introduced to Luke. You can almost call him Detective Luke, but it says, having investigated everything carefully from the beginning. And he does that so he can teach the truth. Do we investigate do you go into a verse like John 1:17 and spend time breaking it down and really understanding what it means? I know we're busy and I know we don't have a lot of time, but this is worth it. If you get some time every day, obviously you're taking time to watch videos and you're seeking. So I would highly encourage you to do your own investigating. Pay off big dividends. Then in 3 verse 23, the genealogy of Jesus is given to us here and again in Matthew chapter 1 verses 1 through 17. And again, those genealogies line up with the Old Testament genealogies, and they're really cool to see who's in those genealogies. Tomorrow we're going to be in Luke chapter 1, and we're going to read verse 5 through 80. So there's going to be a lot of reading out of Luke tomorrow. Just chapter 1 verses 5 through 80, but it's going to be a good read. So see what kind of law enforcement takeaway you can find, if any, and let's meet up tomorrow and compare. In the meantime, you guys be safe.